Good afternoon. It is Sunday. This is June 28th. Anyway, we had a very successful trip up to Franklin, Kentucky at Harvey's Gym, and I still couldn't tell you the name of the meet, which one it was. I just never seem to pay attention to those details. Sorry. Anyway, so Brittany and Adam Hasty were competing. And the goal for Adam, this was his first meet in a bench shirt. He did bench only. And we just underachieved a little bit. Now, when I say that, I'm being very particular because I think Adam had the opportunity, based on his training, to hit 182.5, which is roughly 402 pounds. Pounds-wise, freedom units, America, whatever. Anyway. His opener did not look like his training at all, and I could tell he was very nervous. He had done a weight cut, and I don't think that was something that was a hindrance for him because he put the weight back on, but I just think it's one of those things where you've got to compete a lot to get where you get past the nerves. You're always nervous, but where you don't become fearful, or where that nervous energy becomes a hindrance, so to speak. So he hit 170. I had originally wanted to go to 177, and I decided to go 175, and was still making some technical errors, so I went to 180 on the third, and he did everything but lock it out. But the 170 was his opener, and that was a Masters national record for the USPA, and drug tested. I assume this was the drug tested state meet, but I don't know. His second attempt, 175, broke the open national record, and then he missed the 180. I mean, literally right at lockout. So, a little bit of work. I think it's one of those things that, a little bit of work, maybe being, 4 weeks out, 5 weeks out, getting it where you're a little closer to meet weight and you don't really have to cut. I think that would make a difference. Man, with bench shirts, especially the way the fabrics are right now, it's just such a fine line. But at the end of the day, Masters and Open national records, obviously state records, and a very successful foray into equipped lifting. Now, here's what I want to talk about. Brittany has been coming, I could be wrong, but I think it's been less than 2 years. I know that she had a coach prior to me, but I don't know for how long. But I'm going to just throw it out there and speculate that she has been training roughly for 2 years. I will preface all that with saying she has never been an athlete, and that is very apparent. Now, that sounds like I'm being negative, and that couldn't be further from the truth. But what I want to do is set the table to make you understand that people that have been an athlete have a certain amount of body awareness that people that haven't been an athlete, even if it's a different sport, they have a body awareness that non-athletes just don't have. And I think Brittany would tell you she's probably not the toughest person you know. Again, that is not an indictment. It's just a fact. It's just the way it is. But I will tell you something. And I'm building to something with the results of the meet. She gets up, she drives basically from, but I don't know what they call it, Brantioch, basically Brentwood, Antioch area. And it's a pretty good haul, and if she's getting there at 5 o'clock in the morning, she's got to be leaving her house no later than 4:30, and I would presume getting up at 4. And I have sessions for her 5 days a week, so you can see that it requires some dedication. Now, I'm building to something. Prior to the pandemic, she had surgery, some sort of nasal surgery, and forgive me, I don't recall specifically, but it had her out for a few weeks, And then, we had to basically rebuild. That's just what you go through. She competed, I want to say January. No, it'd be February, because I want to say it was Swole Mates. I have a lot of things going on in my head, so pardon me being all over the place. But the thing that I want to tell you is she had a pretty good meet, missed her last deadlift attempt, simply gave up too soon on the weight. And we fellowshipped about that. And she has trained, and again, when the pandemic came, we had stay-at-home orders. I'm not sure how long most people were away, but it was a while, and so, she was training at home. But she was training, and she was sending video. So that doesn't mean that, the training was flawless, and even when they were able to come back, it has been wrought with difficulty and very challenging. Even as recently as last weekend, I wanted to see her opener and her second, and and it's one of those things where with her lifting, this training cycle, we've been rolling the dice. One session, she could be fine, and then the next session, not fine at all, like to the point of missing like 2 weeks in a row. I want to say her last training session, I had her doing 6 singles at 105, and she missed it twice and then came back to hit it. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I don't pull any punches. I think that the lifters that I work with, the athletes, will tell you, if you're a girl, that buys you shit. You are a lifter, plain and simple. And I don't treat you differently. Girl, guy, black, white, Christian, Muslim, gay, not gay. I don't give 2 rat shits other than I have expectations. And those expectations are based on your goals. And generally, I'm going to expect more. I'm going to push you based on what I see. And Brittany's potential is obviously higher than what she thinks it is. And I will tell you, I don't draw back. I am tough on her. Now, when all is said and done, I'm the first person to give her a hug and, slap her on the fanny and that whole thing. But I'm going to tell you, my expectations are high. And I don't give a shit about what you didn't do in your past or what you did do. I don't care if you played tennis in college and won Wimbledon. What matters to me is what you're doing in the gym today. So she's had a lot of tough love moments. And I worry at times because, I come across as an asshole. Now, when I do this, I get angry or frustrated, not because I'm angry at her or any lifter for that matter, or frustrated at the lifter. I am frustrated and angry for them, especially when I know that they can do better. And that's why I keep pushing. I keep my foot on the throttle. And I'm not going to apologize for that, nor am I going to change it. I'm not going to. So we get to the meet, and I will tell you, I am concerned because this training cycle has been wrought with difficulty. So she does her last warm-up, looks pretty good. I'm a little concerned about depth, and does her opener, which is 85, squashes it. 90, squashes that also. Goes to 95, which is a lifetime meet PR. I want to say she's hit it in the gym one time, but I could be wrong, but I think that's right. Little bobble, but hit it. Again, with I had been saying 50. We've got to hit 50, and I would not let up off of hitting 50. 42 and a half was her opener, which she hit super easy. 47 and a half she hit easy, but she just basically kind of dropped the weight. So I was concerned about the bobble and getting called for a heave. So she made the change of going really slow and, had all a little bobble. She got 1 red light, and but 2 to 1 got 50. So these are lifetime meet PRs, and then we're going to the deadlift, which was the lift that I was really concerned with. Looked fine in warm-ups. Opened at 100, super easy. 107.5, equally as easy, but she wasn't square. The load technique was off. That's what I'll go with. And so they let me chip because her lift would be a state record. Her meet PR was 115, which I think was at that meet a year ago. And so I chipped it, and she hit it even with all the technical flaws and the weight being 3 or 4 inches away from her. She smoked it. So since it was a record and it was a small meet, they were given fourth attempts. I called 120 on a fourth, and she hit it as well. And so, again, it's one of those things. One of the things I tell all the lifters, it's never where you start. You know, we have people that are national and world champions in multiple sports, and where you start is just the beginning. It's how you finish. It's getting to the finish and how you get there. That's where everything matters. And the thing is that it's not about what kind of athlete you are. It's what kind of person you are, and are you coachable? And you know, we have conversations, Brittany and I, about what my expectations are and the adjustments that she has to make. You know, and she'll tell me that she's trying, and I'm not interested in trying. I'm interested in execution. And so all this, you know, sounds like I'm talking about being tough coach. I am tough coach. I have a lot of expectations, and the bar is high in that gym. But when you're coachable and you dig in and you keep working and you don't give up and you try, if you just try, amazing things can happen. And so Brittany, she hits lifetime PRs. I don't know that she's ever had 120 kilos in her hands. Certainly not from the floor. And goes 10 for 10, which is really, you think 9 for 9 is hard. 10 for 10 is even harder. So it goes to show you, it's not the amazing athlete that you are. It's the person you are that is dedicated, that is committed, and will have the endurance to hang in there and keep showing up. And when that happens, anything is possible. And Brittany's day is certainly a tribute to that. I got a message from one of her teammates, and I'm going to let that person share with them what they said. But they were inspired by knowing how much she had struggled, and then she killed it come meet day. And it changed their perspective. And so I'm going to tell you guys, it's never what you say to people, it's what you do. And people are watching you and paying a lot of attention to what you're doing, way more than what you're saying. So think about those things, especially as we post all of our thoughts on social media. Maybe it's better that we show people what we're capable of instead of talking about it. And that means be about it. Don't talk about it, be about it. Congratulations to both Adam and Brittany, and thank you guys for your trust. Great day for Team Ogre. Thanks for listening. God bless.